Please join me in welcoming the School of Public Health Student Commencement Speaker 2018, Maddie Johnson.
Thank you, Dean Finnegan. Angela Davis, a political activist and author, once stated, "I'm no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things I cannot accept." When I think of my peers at the University of Minnesota School of Public Health, I think of individuals who not only strive for change, but also strive for change in a world that perceives change as unlikely. I began my graduate career because I could not accept that our society neglects some of its most marginalized members. Throughout my studies, I have learned how I can be a change agent both in my neighborhood and the world. The best teachers have been my peers because each of them lives out their values in their everyday life. A public health graduate student is atypical. Public health is not a day job. Public health is a way of life. Public health is personal, and each of us has a reason for being here. We are here to change the things we cannot accept. Welcome, friends, family, administration, and professors. Thank you for joining us today. I hope that each of you enjoys the celebrations and excitement of graduation. I'd like to take a moment to ask my peers to consider a few questions. Why did you come here? What have you learned? And where are you going? Now to my first question. Why did you come here? Public health and healthcare are personal. We all have a story, one where we saw a system that is broken. We want to fix this broken system. Prior to attending graduate school, I lived in New Haven, Connecticut, and worked as a case manager at Columbus House, a homeless shelter in the Hill, which is the poorest neighborhood in the city. Each day, I walked or bused to work, starting near the stores where students could purchase dress shirts for $300, and moving towards abandoned buildings, trash-ridden streets, and broken sidewalks. I followed the path down Davenport Avenue and ended my journey at Ella T. Grasso Boulevard, where Columbus House stood. My team served the most marginalized individuals who were experiencing homelessness. Twice a week, we would spend our mornings out in the community visiting soup kitchens and homeless encampments found under bridges and in the woods. Our goal was to build trust with these individuals, many of whom did not trust institutions. One of my primary tasks as a case manager was to assist individuals with housing applications. However, the rules to qualify for public housing became more and more strict, barring my most vulnerable clients from assistance. Through my experience in direct service work, I realized that there is a disconnect between policymakers and individuals who are impacted by policy. Many of my clients were not provided with the resources necessary to live, and now they were being barred from public housing, further entrenching them in poverty. This was something I could not accept, so I decided to make a change and pursue my graduate studies in public health, specifically focusing on health policy. I know many of my peers have similar stories and reasons for being here today. Now for a question that reflects on our time here at the University of Minnesota School of Public Health. What have you learned? Last fall, my experience with the complexities of the healthcare system paralleled with my coursework as my family lost 3 of our beloved family members: my grandfather, my grandmother, and my uncle. I remember the moment my mother called me and informed me that my grandfather was sitting in a downtown emergency room because there was a shortage of geriatric psychiatric beds. My grandfather had suffered for years from dementia, and after my grandmother, his primary caretaker, had a stroke, he had to move into a memory care unit. When this unit could no longer support him, staff transferred him to the ER and ultimately a psychiatric unit, about an hour from home, making it difficult for family to visit him. Throughout my studies, I have learned the lesson that healthcare is personal and public health is personal. This is what motivates us to fight for change. During these last 2 years, not only have I learned from my peers, but I have leaned on my classmates during times of turmoil. I have found a community of individuals who fight to change the aspects of society that are unacceptable. Each of us has a reason for being here, and we have spent time developing skills to change this world into the world that we envision. In this world, the health of an individual is not based on a zip code, but will be rooted in the understanding that everyone deserves to be healthy. Now, for a final question. Where are you going? Public health work is driven by individual stories. To successfully work in the field of public health, one has to think systemically while also maintaining compassion for the individual. When I look to my peers, I see individuals who want to make systemic change in our healthcare system. I also see individuals who are moving into direct service work with a public health perspective. We need advocates in direct service, research, and policy. One field cannot function without the others. Public health merges direct experience with a desire for change and does not ask the individual, why did this happen? But more specifically inquires, how did you get here and where do you need to go? In a month, I will be moving to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to start a fellowship where I will be working with the city health department. This city has some similar characteristics to New Haven. Residents face extreme health disparities, but I am prepared to work with community members to create change at a systemic level. I will be stepping out of my comfort zone. I challenge each of you to do the same. Step out of your comfort zone. The only way we can bring about change is if we take a chance by walking into the unknown. Think of what motivates you and how you can incorporate these passions into your career and lifestyle. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once stated, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter." I ask you once again to consider, why did you come here? What have you learned And where are you going? These questions will help shape your future. Today, you are a graduate of the University of Minnesota School of Public Health. Now is the time to speak up about the things that matter. By reflecting on your personal experience, you can use your story to bring about change. I'm no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things I cannot accept. Thank you.